We're live. Hi, we are here with on World Fringe Day with the very glamorous and lovely Hollywood and sorry, I've forgotten the other fringes.
After Fringe.
Buffer.
I'm sorry, we've spoken about 50 fringes. Buffer Fringe in Cyprus, sorry, and Hollywood Fringe. Why don't you guys introduce yourselves? Ben, go for it.
Hi, my name is Ben Hill, and I'm the founding festival director of the Hollywood Fringe Festival in beautiful, sunny Los Angeles, California.
Woohoo! And Buffer, go for it.
And yeah, my name is Haralambia Theophanous. We're also in very sunny and very hot Cyprus.
Nice. So on very different parts of the world. Ben, why don't you tell us a bit about the Hollywood Fringe and give us the kind of the inside info.
The inside info. Ooh.
Something we wouldn't know unless we'd been.
Oh, okay. Let's see. Well, the Hollywood Fringe, think of is the largest theater party you can think of that goes on for a month, basically. We're very into having a great time, doing fantastic art, taking risks, and we tend to drink a lot too. So it's generally a good time to hang out. We were founded in 2010. We're very much based on the Edinburgh Festival Fringe model of sort of controlled, beautiful chaos, and yeah, there you go.
Nice,
cool. And you play beer pong.
Yeah, we do play beer pong from time to time.
I've played beer pong with you once.
I'm very bad at it. I'm progressively bad as the more I play, strangely enough.
That was my one and only beer pong experience, in fact.
I'm glad we could
let's change that. So Buffer Fringe Cyprus, tell us something about your festival.
Yeah, so we're the first and only one Fringe festival on Cyprus. We began inside a buffer zone, which is basically a piece of land that is guarded on either side by a UN peace force. Wow. And the point of our Fringe was actually to get people from both divided communities of Cyprus together in their best artistic light.
That is amazing. And how is that going?
It's going really well. I mean, we're growing. This is only the 4th year now. That we're going to be happening in November, so join us. And we've got loads of acts from all around the world and from the island. And I guess what we're doing is that people are actually like partying together and enjoying themselves. And it's a whole new frame for people to live in.
Yeah,
that's amazing.
And where do your performers come from? Are they local, national, international?
Well, we have both local performances from both sides of the divide, from all communities of Cyprus, as well as international participants.
And how do people get involved? Is that open access, or do they apply, or is it just juried?
Yeah, they apply. We have a call out. I mean, basically, we do the call out and a bit of curation as well, in the sense that there aren't that many venues in Cyprus and there aren't that many opportunities. So we kind of need to make sure that artists will get paid for their work. So we kind of just leave it open. So yeah, it's by call out.
Cool. And so is it funded locally as well? Do you get funding from the council government there, or how does that work?
We get help from embassies. So we get help from embassies to kind of bring artists from countries. And yeah, funding is not very easy because we're so controversial. We don't get a lot of governing bodies to kind of come on board.
Yeah. Mm.
You were almost too fringe for them to cope with.
Yeah, we are really fringe.
Yeah.
And Ben, when did you first discover Fringe, and what kind of hooked you in and made you decide to start your very own in a city that is known for actors performing, but more in the movies than
What do you
theatre?
mean?
Am I right?
Is there some sort of industry here of which you speak? What are you talking about?
Don't know. You said you saw George Clooney.
That Brad Pitt walks behind me. Right. Yeah, no. I discovered, like, I had heard of Edinburgh Fringe, obviously, but I was living in London in 2002. And we scheduled, my girlfriend at the time scheduled kind of an impromptu Scotland trip. So this Scotland place is nice. We should check it out. So we drove north, and it just happened to be, Fringe time, and we just happened to stumble in to Edinburgh, and we just, by some miracle, found a place to stay.
Oh my God! What? Just by chance?
We just rolled into town and found a place to stay somehow, without much trouble. It was bizarre, and I was just enchanted. Like I was completely enchanted by what was happening around me, and I was youngish. I was in my mid-20s at the time, and just fascinated with the whole thing. And then I was living in Washington D.C. at the time, and we put on a festival that was more of like a new play festival, like a playwrights festival, and it was fine, but I definitely wanted more. So when we eventually moved to Los Angeles, we were living in the Hollywood neighborhood. And Hollywood, like, not a lot of people know this, has dozens and dozens and dozens of small theaters, mainly because of union regulations is why they're that size. But like what we saw was something far beyond what the theater scene in Los Angeles was known for up until that point, which is more showcase work for actors looking to get theatrical agents and whatnot. We saw this as an opportunity to present the real theater and the real theater artists that were doing work in Los Angeles at the time. And it was absolutely unbelievable, the level of response we received. We thought, like, whatever, we'd have like maybe a couple dozen shows. But once we organized the venues, and we had about 30 venues our first year.
Yeah,
once we organized the venues, we had 170 some shows our first year. And ever since then, we've grown to, like, last year we had close to 400 shows. We had just under 3,000 performances to date. We've given millions back to artists, and it's just been an absolutely wild and crazy ride. And the community we've developed here is not at all what you think. It's not a bunch of like movie and film people at all. It's real engaged performing artists that love what they do and want to show that Los Angeles is much, much more than the quote unquote industry, that there are people there really taking risks, really presenting wonderful, emerging, cutting edge art. And it's really been exciting being a part of all that.
Yeah, amazing.
Yeah.
And you decided at the beginning to kind of keep the Fringe within a mile radius. Is that still the case? Because people don't walk in LA, do they? That's right. They don't.
So they say. I walk in LA.
Is that?
I walk everywhere in LA. I went a year without a car in LA. But it is true. That was the big coup, because there was a Fringe back around the time where Los Angeles hosted the Olympics. And it was all over the city, and it's like, oh, okay, it's just another day in small intimate theater in Los Angeles. But what we did was like one of the big design decisions we made was to make it in a square mile neighborhood. For those of you who know the geography of Los Angeles, it's all over the place. It's like this sprawling modern city. Whereas what we wanted to do was give theater in Los Angeles a time and a place, and that place was within this 1 square mile. So you could, in any time, it's like Edinburgh. You could go from show to show to show to show to show. Each show is going to be, between $10 and $15. Each show is going to be anywhere between a half an hour to an hour and a half. So it's the same sort of thing you do when you go to Fringe in Scotland. You see, 7 shows in a day. and you can do that. You can just stroll from theater to theater, and like that's what's so fun and wonderful about it. And of course, there are bars and clubs scattered all in between, and your button gets you discounts everywhere, so you can have a good time and see a bunch of shows.
Nice. Hey, and you guys in Buffer, at the Buffer Fringe there, why would you say that Fringe is important to you personally, but also to the kind of global cultural environment?
I mean, for us, it's pretty clear. It's bringing people of the island together. I mean, what we manage and what we see from our artists and our audience, what they tell us every year is that we are actually, they get to see amazing shows for free, and they get to kind of get to know, let's say, the other community as in this capacity of artist, in this capacity of creator. So it changes people's perspectives on a massive level. It's art and it's politics at the same time. And I guess that's also about the movement, right? That you really make people seen, that you really give people the opportunity to create and to show their work. And it doesn't have to be the mainstream. It doesn't have to be the rich or the powerful. It can be anyone who's in the spotlight.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think people agree with that. How about you, Ben? What is it that kind of really makes Fringe that most important of all?
Well, for me, it's always been about community. It's about developing a real ecosystem for the performing arts in a world that is otherwise hostile to the performing arts. I mean, especially given our current political situation in the United States, where freedom of expression is very much under attack, where funding for the arts is very much under attack. Creating a model through which people that have something to say, cultural, societal, or otherwise, have a platform in which to do it, in which they absolutely will not be censored in any way, shape, or form. That they can say what they feel, what they mean. They can express themselves without fear of retribution or without the constraints that fall along how expensive it is to, frankly, to perform in a major city in the United States these days. Wow. So creating this environment for artists and creating the organ for artists to meet. I often think of like the Lost Generation in Paris, like meeting in coffee shops, talking about art, that sort of thing. And we try to create that environment where all these artists, we have thousands of artists that can participate, and we create environments where they can collaborate, meet each other, socialize, and develop great projects for the coming years. And like, what other conceivable platform for the performing arts provides those vital services to the world other than Fringe?
Yeah, quite right on there, Ben. Yes, how about in Buffer? How is your kind of artist community? When the artists perform there, do they all get to know each other, or is it all are they quite separate?
No, they do. Also, we make sure that each show is like one after the other. We do not have shows at the same time, so that also each one gets to watch one another's show. And then we've got a lot of events like programmed for like shared lunches and dinners and walking tours.
In the city, so that they also get to see the local people and how is life in Cyprus for the international participants. And also for the locals who have never traveled across the borders to see what's going on the other side of the divide.
How amazing! Yeah,
so valuable. I think that's incredible. Really creating a community that will live longer than the
dates of the festival.
Yeah,
awesome. Well, we're gonna say happy World Fringe Day to you both, all three of you, both festivals, and thank you so much for joining us. And if you'd like to part with any words, then say them now.
Happy birthday, Fringe! We love you.
Yeah, thank you very much. And yeah, happy birthday to Edinburgh and to all the fringes around the world.
Oh, brilliant.
Brilliant.
Thank you. Happy World Fringe Day.
Happy World
Take
Fringe
care,
Day.
guys. See you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.